I had to. I couldn't resist. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to MXGP-TV, where we are live once again for our studio show here. It's round 3 of the FIM Motocross World Championship with me, Paul Malin, and Lisa Leyland getting you through this studio show. The first in, what, 5 months or more? But on today's studio show, you can already see the first guest there, Simon Langenfelder. We also have Henry Jacoby coming in as well. And right at the end of the show, Adam Wheeler, just to fill us in on what he saw at the first 2 rounds. What's been happening, not a lot in the last 5 months, but what we can expect to see from here going forward. But before we catch up with Simon, Lisa, so much to talk about, so little time. How was your travel experience getting here, and what about those COVID tests?
I know. Well, firstly, it's great to be back in a studio and to be bringing you a studio show from a racetrack. It's exciting times. But it was great to be back at an airport as well. I never thought that I would miss it, but I did miss it. But the COVID tests,
I know. When you get a Belgian doctor shoving his dick up your nose and then
not my favourite.
Violating your face. I said stick, by the way. It's not nice.
No.
I've had 2 in the last 4 days.
Me too. It has to be done, though. It has to be done, but not my favourite experience, I have to say.
Exactly. Well, look, let's crack on with the show. As you can see, Simon Langenfelder is already in position from Diga Procross Gas Factory Juniors. And Simon, first time on the studio show for you. Welcome. Obviously, you're new to MX2, so first of all, tell us about a little bit about who you are. Where are you from, and how old were you when you started riding?
So I'm Simon Langfelder. I'm 16 years old. I come from Germany, and yeah, I started riding at 5 years and started racing at 6.
So you've already, what, 10 years you've been riding, because you just turned 16 at the end of March, I believe.
Yeah, I turned at 27 March. I have birthday.
Yeah.
Got 16 there. So.
Well, look, obviously we'll talk about your MX2 start in just a moment, but when I was looking back through the results of, 125 and 85, the first time you really came into our radar was only 2 years ago in EMX 125, 2018. You finished 20th in the championship. I think you were 4th overall here with a 3rd place finish in that race. But last year, 3rd overall in the championship. A couple of race wins, 4 podiums, an overall victory in Lommel. That's a big improvement. What have you been able, where did that improvement come from in the space of 1 year in a short space of time?
Yeah, I would say it come definitely a lot from my team I had last year. We trained good there, and yeah, I'm really happy to have such a good championship there last year. Finished 3rd overall, which I never thought about after the first round in Valkenswaard last year, but yeah, I improved the whole season, so I had also a race win in Lommel. I'm really happy about that, and hope I can show what I can this year too. Yeah,
and just before Lisa jumps in, it was I was talking to you outside just before that. 2 years ago, when you had that first year in the MX 125 and you finished, like I said, 20th, there were a lot of no scores. I think you didn't qualify in one of the rounds, but you got a 4th overall here, 3rd in the second race. That must have been a big moment for you as well. Just maybe something that you thought, actually, maybe I can do something with this racing.
Yeah, for sure. But I wasn't expecting this last year, 2 years ago. Yeah. But for sure, I was so happy about that one. I love the track here. It's not too sandy, but also not hard pack. So I'm really looking forward to those 3 races here.
Yeah, okay.
Well, most riders will go from 125s to the MX 250s, but you've jumped straight into MX2. Just tell us, why was that?
Yeah, I got a pretty good contract from Gas, and why not? Why shouldn't I race MX2 directly? I think everyone's dream is it to ride MX2, but yeah, I'm really happy to be able to ride MX2 this year and directly jump to the class.
Yeah, well, now you're a factory rider at 16 years old. How has the experience been so far for you, and is it what you expected it to be?
Yeah, it's definitely something bigger than EMX 125 and really good riders there. But for sure, I try to show my best all the time. And yeah, we saw in Valkenswaard that I have good speed, and yeah, I hope I can show it here again.
Well, we've had 2 rounds so far. Matterley didn't go to plan. Just briefly, what happened there, because there were no points that day. Was it just bad luck, crashes?
Yeah, I was pretty nervous at the first round, so I didn't had good starts, and then I wasn't able to pass so quickly, and yeah, just not my day.
No.
But Valkenswaard went better, especially in race 2, where you were 5th. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I had the first race there. I got 21. Didn't score points there, but was already much better because I had a start crash and another crash too. And for that, 21 did good. I go through much of the field, and then in the second race, I had a good start. Then battling with my teammate for a long time, but that was fun. And yeah, was also in 3rd position for a long time. Didn't realize that for 2 laps.
Yeah, because the conditions were very heavy there, right? It was very tough.
Yeah, I was happy to have my Fox goggle and to see always clear.
And obviously your teammate Jeremy Sido not riding here this weekend, but we will see him after these Latvian Grand Prix. But when when you come over the line and you finish 5th in your only your 4th MX2 race, how did you feel? How was the emotion after that? Were you pretty pleased with that? Pretty excited?
Yeah, of course, I was really happy. We done a lot of hard work for that, and it showed off, so I'm really happy about that.
Okay, and obviously we've had 5 months off before we go. What are you expecting now from these 3 races and the rest of the season?
Yeah, I had a lot of time to improve myself and got better and do some testing, but I think I got better. I got much better, and I can show it now.
Okay, well look, obviously completely different conditions today to what we had the last time the gates dropped in an MX2 race, which was 5 months ago now. But thank you for our first guest here, Simon Langenfelder, I should say, actually, from Diga Procross Gas Factory Juniors, and we wish you all the very best of luck for the 3 races here and the rest of the season. Right, thank you, Simon. When we get back in a moment, it will be with Henry Jacoby, and of course, he's riding in MXGP this year. But before we catch up with Henry, let's catch up with what happened 5 months ago. Here's some highlights from MX2 Race 2 of the Netherlands.
Good jump from Jed Beaton. Also, Geertz over on the right-hand side. We've got a rider upside down. Geertz there in 3rd place behind. Oh, Geertz goes down. Geertz gets high-sided. Oh, somebody else hit the bike. One of the Kawasaki's, Harup. Jago Geertz picks himself up. So Vial leads. Bas Varsen is there in 2nd position. Renault is 3rd. Oh, it looks like the start device is jammed. Bas Varsen is there in 2nd position. Renault is 3rd. Oh, Varsen, he is disappointed. He was, and the gas of Sido goes down just in the background. Oh, it's Langenfelder actually, 516. And Langenfelder alongside Sido and takes over that 3rd place. Closes down the door on his teammate. A Herculean effort from the 193, but an unbelievable performance. He would have loved to have stood on the top step of the podium, but to be on the podium after what he went through at turn 1 is absolutely remarkable. He still might find his way past Sido. And there is Geertz. He flies right by the 104. And the Yamaha rider now up into 7th position. Absolutely unbelievable. 5 points in it. Vial will be on 87, Geertz on 82. Across the line 7th for Monster Energy Yamaha. He'll be disappointed, but he has put in a brave effort to get himself 3rd overall. Maxime Renault saying, is this the way to the podium? Vial goes 2nd, 1st. Renault 2nd with a brace of 3rds. And Jago Geertz, a win and a 7th, gets him 3rd overall. Tom Vial, a 5-point advantage now over Jago Geertz. Those two swapping.
congratulations. Race win, overall victory, and you've taken over the championship lead.
Yeah, I don't know. I take the championship lead, so yeah, that's really cool. I was really good in second race. I was still, yeah, it's a long time maybe on the winter I ride like that, but on the race it's really difficult, and no, I was really happy. The track was really tough.
Hello everybody, welcome back to our live studio show here on MXGP-TV with me, Paul Malin, and Lisa Leyland. A few moments ago we spoke to Simon Langenfelder. It's an all-German show this week because we've got Henry Jacoby with us now. Brand new team this year, Yamaha SM Action MC Miuri J1 Racing. Henry, welcome to our studio show, and good to see you again. It's been almost like another off-season, more than. First of all, new team, new bike, new class. How have you found the transition from the 250 to the 450, first of all?
Yeah, to be honest, I was thinking it's way more difficult than it actually was, because I was thinking I have a quite aggressive riding style on the 250, and if I take that to the 450, I knew immediately it's not going to work like that. But still, with all the people around, they told me before we had a good plan, and we made it work, I think. So I adapted really well and fast to the 450 and also to the class.
Yeah, obviously a new class. Last year, though, in MX2, there was a point towards the end of the season where you were challenging for a possible third place overall in the series. But then Sweden happened, picked up an injury. Just remind us again what it was and how has the recovery been from that?
Yeah, it was for sure. It was a bad moment for that, because I was obviously fighting for that third in the World Championship. But then, yeah, I tore my ACL. I get the operation, and after I just needed to recover as good as possible and come back also as fast as possible, because I know there's a big step coming up with the 450, and the sooner I'm on the bike, the more I learn, and the faster I'm ready for this whole thing.
And did you manage to get yourself back to 100% fitness before the season started in February?
Yeah, I would think yes, but for sure the first moments on the bike, I was not really comfortable with my knee and putting it out on some places, but yeah, I was, because it was just 3 months later, so
yeah.
Okay, well, it kicked off here in Matterley, 9th overall, and you took the foxhole shot as well. Were you pleased with how that weekend went for you?
Yeah, sure, because when I check still the starting list, I'm still thinking, yeah, if you get points, you're really good, because I don't know, there's like 10 people who can go for a podium, and I'm in the mix. So as long as we are still circulating in this mix, I think everyone's happy. Oh.
Yeah, and obviously conditions weren't difficult on race day, but you know, from Saturday to Sunday they went from very wet, rutty in places. Was there a problem? Did you have a confidence problem, you know, putting the knee down at all, or were you good that way?
No, I think this was gone at this moment with putting my knee down, or I don't remember it, so I can put it away in my brain. Yeah. But no, obviously it went really well.
And just briefly, the second race, you had that fantastic start, foxhole shot. You were 3 riders together as you crossed the line there. But as the race went on towards the second half, you just started to drop back a little bit. Was that, again, just the inexperience of riding the bigger bike, and what you said earlier, thought it would be easier maybe than you thought it was?
Yes, I think I was like here at this moment. I was in front of Jeremy and Evans, and then I let them 2 pass, because I was thinking, maybe you don't have the fitness, or maybe you just finish in the top 10, because now at this moment I was 7 or something, and yeah, so I didn't put a big fight on this, and at the end of the race I was catching them both again, and wish I wouldn't let them go by so fast.
Okay. Well, also, I know before I've spoken to you about your start. You must have been pretty pleased to get that start there, the foxhole shot.
Yes, yes. No, it was nice. Also, we work a lot on those starts because with these group of people I have, we also know that you need to have a good start. Also, now the top 20 are so tight together. And the start is obviously a really important thing now. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, a little bit more from Henry in a moment, but here's how you can get involved with MXGP-TV in 2020. Okay, with the MXGP season up and running again, don't forget the only place where you can watch the best riders, the best action and the best races live is right here on MXGP-TV. Also included in the package is the live studio show, our 26-minute video magazine Behind the Gate, which is available every Tuesday, plus all kinds of other content for you to enjoy, such as WMX and all EMX classes as well. If you are already a subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support, but why not tell your friends about it as well? It's just too good not to. So enjoy the season and enjoy MXGP TV with us.
Right, thanks for that. Well, before we go, Henry, just one final question for you. Obviously, Valkenswaard was pretty difficult for you. Every time we saw you on TV, you seemed like you're in trouble with Glenn, with Mitch, I think, in the qualifying race. Yeah. Difficult weekend. I don't know. I guess you were hoping for better. What are you hoping from this day going forward?
Yeah, no, I think we have 3 races here. I think everyone's really pushing for, I don't know, contract next year and good results. I think I take it a bit more easy because I still have some time in that MXGP class. I cannot go in again and try to push too much. So I will take it a bit easy, and maybe the first weekend will be a little bit more easy, and then try to go step by step in the right direction.
All right, well, look, we are at a time here with Henry Jacoby from Yamaha SM Action MC Miuri, J1 Racing. Good luck this weekend and for the rest of the season. Adam Wheeler is just waiting outside. We'll catch up with him in a moment, but before we do, here's some MXGP highlights from Valkenswaard from about 6 years ago. Enjoy.
Into turn 1, keeper's eyes over and on the left-hand side again. And once again, Geiser is there, and this time more decisive. Carnage behind him. Siwa went down in the first turn with Jorge Prado. This was Jacoby on Cairoli a moment ago. Siwa is also being down and he's damaged those handlebars. Absolutely on another planet when he's in this frame of mind. And Geiser 2010, 2.2. Welcome to the party, Mr. Geiser. And now another mistake. So Geiser really is starting to push and make mistakes, just riding over himself. When conditions are like this, you have to be smooth. You have to respect the surface you're riding. Here's Jacoby, the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna rider, and he's going to be on the podium. 2 third-place finishes. Going to be 3rd overall for Shorty. Here's Cairoli, still circulating in 5th place because Sean Simpson now in 4th, and this is how Simpson went by the 9-time champ. Face full of dirt off the rear wheel. Wasn't very nice, Sean. Geiser is back on the charge. The gap now 5 seconds. Back here though, Sean Simpson under pressure from Cairoli. And Geiser throws it away. Picks himself up. Jeffrey Hurlings takes race win number 170, 115 podiums, Grand Prix victory number 88 here on home soil. Hurlings on 94, Geiser on 85. No change in the top 3 as Cairoli remains 3rd. DeSalvo up to 4th. Third overall, the 2 third-place finishes are Minas Jasakonis. Second overall for Tim Geisser and Team HRC, and of course Jeffrey Hurling's your overall winner. And Jeffrey Hurlings takes the winner's trophy. The smile is back on the Bullet's face as he wins at home once again.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the third round of the FIM Motocross World Championship at the beginning of August here, the MXGP of Latvia, and welcome to our live studio show with myself and Lisa Leyland. Our third and final guest is in the house, Adam Wheeler, OnTrackOffroad.com. Adam, first of all, good to see you. 5 months is a long time, but let's reboot the system. MX2 first of all, Jago Hitz and Tom Vial. Have you changed your thoughts on how that might start to plan out now? And if so, why have you maybe come to that conclusion?
Yeah, hi Paul, thanks for bringing that up straight away. Maybe I do need to eat a slice of humble pie. I mean, I did question whether Jago Gertz would have the consistency or the capacity to make a championship chase this year. And, you know, on the evidence of the first 2 Grand Prix, even though I think now we are having a very large reset. I mean, over 150 days since we last raced in Grand Prix. But, you know, looking at the rest of the calendar, the way it provisionally is set, then Jago's capacity in sandy and soft surfaces, you know, this is going to be a big advantage for him. And, you know, he has displayed more maturity, I think, less prone to mistakes. And, yeah, on the evidence so far, him and the starting capacity and the raw speed of Red Bull KTM's Tom Vial means these are the 2 guys that we should be looking at.
But realistically, are they the only 2 riders, though? Can you feature Thomas Kjær-Olsen in the mix and maybe even Rennie Hoffer as the year goes on, or not really?
I think Thomas Kjær-Olsen has been one of the most consistent riders in Grand Prix in any class. So it's impossible to discount him, especially starting again here with 3 rounds in Latvia, where he's won 2 Grand Prix in the last 4 years. In fact, you know, Jago and Thomas are the only 2 riders in this category to appear on the podium in Latvia since 2017. I mean, that's some serious form coming into these races, even though I think what we'll see this weekend is, you know, a litany of riders with arm pump, some race conditioning, some race rhythm kind of, you know, irregularities. I think it will be, we'll have to get to Wednesday before we see maybe riders like Tom Vial on the podium here, you know, getting some kind of normality about their race back.
Just briefly, while we're looking at that podium, were you surprised by the performance of Tom Vial in Valkenswaard? I know he was helped probably by the fact that Yates went down, but all the, you know, you still have to win it. You have to go out and do it.
Yeah, it's yes and no, because, I mean, his work with Joel Smets as part of that team, you know, he's been working incredibly hard, and, you know, his sand acumen is right up there. So, you know, it's only his 2nd season in Grand Prix, but he's a major success story for KTM, I think, because he hasn't been one of those riders that's been on the train for a few years, so to speak, like Jorge Prado was, like Paul Jonas was. Sure. So he's been a revelation, you could say.
Well, look, we're straight into MXGP. Obviously, Tim, Jeffrey, they're the guys that showed their hand early at the beginning of the season. Yeah. I guess we can expect to see a bit more of that. But what about Tony Cairoli? Where does he feature into that little jigsaw puzzle?
Well, consistency is going to be his main card to play. Again, if we talk about these first 3 one-day races here, I do wonder if, you know, some of that raw speed necessary, especially for qualification and time practice. I mean, it's been more than 10 years now we've had qualification heat races. So, you know, those guys who are in tune with making a perfect 1 lap, which Tony sometimes is, sometimes isn't, you know, they're going to be, you know, in a stronger gate position. But if we look at Kegums behind us, Paul, I mean, it's, you know, Tony's won here 4 times, but he has a very strange relationship with this place. You know, 2 seasons now have been wrecked by injury at this venue.
Yeah, one of them, the Nations.
Yes, of course. Well, with the Nations with a knee injury. Also, in 2015, when he fractured his left arm, he still did 3 rounds after Majora, but then called it a day here. And then last year, of course, with the shoulder injury from Russia. So, you know, can Tony come away from it? If he comes away from here with some serious points to catch up with Tim and Jeffrey, then that'll be a job well done. A
lot of the talk at the beginning of the season, though, was about Jeffrey and Tim. And obviously, Tim as a defending champion, he needed that race win at Matterley. And he needed a good performance in Valkenswaard. He had both. He got the win and that performance.
Well, Herlings is leading the championship, but Tim's won 50% of the motos so far. And, you know, the best thing, I think, is that you have these two kind of titans of the class, both in good shape, both happy with the motorcycles, both happy with their situation around them, both have settled contracts, they've not got that on their mind for 2021. So, you know, you have this kind of little perfect storm of these two riders coming together at their peak. So that's what's going to be fascinating for the rest of the year.
Yeah, good.
Well, other riders that will be looking to stamp their authority, you have Jeremy Seewer, Glenn Koldenhoff, Clement Desal. 3 riders, I guess, that have had mixed results in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, Glenn Koldenhoff especially. I mean, he's on the Gas motorcycle. Rumours already for what he's going to be doing for next year. Previously won his first Grand Prix race here in Kegums. I mean, this kind of track I think will be to his liking. So Glenn's always a little bit of a mystery. I mean, if he starts well, he's going to be up there. And also, like we said before, a confidence rider. And Jeremy Seewer, again, the picture of consistency. His career path through more than, I think, you know, more than 150 Grand Prix in a row has been quite staggering. But then you have people like Jorge Prado, who have been playing catch-up due to injury, a broken collarbone and a broken femur. But he's another live wire and a great starter, of course.
Would you say that Seewer's perhaps Yamaha's biggest threat? And what are your thoughts on AJ and, of course, Fevre now he's back on the pace?
Yeah, you can't count out people like Gautier Paulin. Arnaud Tonus as well has been very off the radar, but again, a rider with raw speed that can trouble these guys. I mean, again, that's the great thing, if there is a great thing about restarting this series after such a long time. It has effectively scrubbed some of the images that we're seeing here. And the riders themselves, I'm sure, have a lot of questions about what they can do.
What do you think on Romain Fevre? He missed the first 2 rounds because he picked up a strange knee injury after, you know, doing the hard work to get over that femur injury. The pre-season races that we've had, part of the restart, he seemed to have done okay.
The pre-season, mid-season.
The pre-mid-season races, yeah. Are you expecting anything from him? From this weekend?
I think so. I think you know, Romain is only one of 4 riders to have won or taken the checkered flag at this place since 2015 actually. So, you know, again, a rider who knows his way around Kegums. And you know, there's still a little bit of a dual A rider thing going on there, Monster Energy Kawasaki, I think. And between Clement Desal and Romain Fevre, I mean, that's an incredibly strong lineup. I still think Romain has. He still has to put his flag on the post, so to speak, outside of that team ordering. So he's got something to prove. Yeah,
well, I think we'll see Arminas Jessiconis, the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna rider, in a moment on this clip. Spectacular ride for him in Valkenswaard, brace of 3rd place finishes, 3rd overall. Only his second ever career podium. The first one was in Portugal in similar conditions, sandy, but obviously a lot heavier in Valkenswaard. But I think AJ, he was split, wasn't he? A lot of people went, wow, AJ, 3rd overall. But there's a lot of people went, it's a sand track. And from these 3 races, he could be a dark horse, don't you think?
Yeah, I think he's, I mean, you mentioned a spectacular podium. I just think he's a spectacular rider. And also in the sense that you never really know what you're going to get, which I'm sure is not exactly what, you know, Husqvarna and Antti Pyronen, want. They want more consistency. They want more, results towards the top of the classification. But, you know, I think, don't forget, he's still young. I mean, if memory serves, 23, 24. He's not old by any means, so he's still got plenty to learn.
Yeah, and obviously when we were here in his Suzuki days, he led the first race that year. I guess he'll be hoping to get a good start and try and settle in, because there'll be Lithuanian fans, I believe, coming over, or certainly we've got a crowd of Latvian people, but you know, the Baltic states normally cheer for their own. So,
well, sadly for Pauls Jonas, who's not here due to injury. I mean, you could say AJ is the nearest kind of home rider. But I think, you know, just mentioning there about Suzuki Paul, again, it's a shame not to be here, because they always had such a good, I mean, Glenn Koldenhoff won here, Kevin Strybos won in the Motocross of Nations in 14, and Glenn's success on that motorcycle in 2015 was actually the second to last for the factory in Grand Prix. I mean, when they come back, it can't happen too soon.
No. Obviously, we've got about 30 seconds left. In terms of this 3-race format, it's worth maybe explaining to everybody that Saturday is all about European Championship, so we've got the EMX Open and EMX 250 categories today, and tomorrow is just MX2 and MXGP. The free practice will then move immediately into the time practice, so they get about 45 minutes on track before their usual 2 races, with a start time an hour earlier than normal. So it's going to be 3 hectic days of riding, Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday. Briefly, 20 seconds.
I think the riders are going to embrace that format. I think some of them have wanted it for a while. Obviously, it's been used, you know, in other domestic series for quite some time. You know, I think a lot of adaptation is going to be necessary, especially for some of the younger guys who've only known like a 2-day Grand Prix format. But it's going to be fun.
All right, well, look, on that note, Adam Wheeler, On Track Off-Road, thanks for joining us. Also, thanks to Henry Jacoby and Simon Langenfelder. Join us live, though, in a little while. 105 is the first EMX Open race, and then, of course, we've got EMX 250 Race 1, Open Race 2, and EMX 250 Race 2. That's all we have on MXGP-TV today. Join us for all the World Championship action tomorrow, though, MX2 and MXGP. My name is Paul Nayland. Thanks for watching. Thanks to Lisa. Thanks to Adam. Thanks to you guys. Hope you enjoy the weekend. It's good to be back. Read my lips. It's good to be back. See you next time. Tuesday, Wednesday. Bye.